under the coaching prowess of Ron Willey.
You know, this is the 5th Sydney club that Ron Willey has coached. Plus, of course, he's been State of Origin coach for the last couple of years. So he brings a wealth of experience to the Penrith Panthers. And let's not forget, they've made 2 very important purchases during the off-season. Again, experience. Peter Kelly and Chris Mortimer gives us a very strong-looking side tonight. And let's not forget that Penrith were only beaten by 2 points by the Broncos in the Premiership just a few weeks ago. Let's have a look at the full side, shall we? And at fullback, well, yes, it's Greg Alexander playing in the unaccustomed role of fullback tonight. The rest of the side, Green, Bradley, Mortimer, McNeil, Izzard, Delaney, Van der Voort, Geyer, Cartwright, Kelly, Simmons and Goodwin. And as I've mentioned, Ron Willey is the coach.
Well, 7 changes to this Brisbane side from the team that were too good for Parramatta last Sunday at Lang Park. And Bill Anderson, might be a case of the Broncos leaders of the Winfield Cup for going in as underdogs tonight.
Well, they are, Graham, but in spite of the changes, I felt for the last couple of weeks that the Broncos have come back to the field. They're starting to show signs of wear and tear, particularly in the forwards, and that's where Penrith are strongest. I think the Broncos are going to have a couple of losses in the next few weeks, starting tonight.
Might be a good guideline for Wayne Bennett about just how the side's going to go when the representative season comes around.
It's very much a spare parts team, but he's going to get a guide for that representative season when he's going to have a heavy player loss.
All right, well, let's take a look at the changes to this Bronco outfit. The fullback is Burke, the 3-quarters, Kilroy, Johns, Tevan, Hancock, Lewis, Gruff. The forwards, Madison, Brad Tessman, Hone, Andrew Tessman in the front row, no relation, Walters, Dowling, and the coach is Wayne Bennett.
Tonight's winners will face St George in a quarter-final. Will it be Penrith or will Brisbane continue on their winning way? They've yet to taste defeat. We'll take a break and be back for the kick-off in tonight's Panasonic Cup.
Confidence in the Penrith room that I must admit that I haven't felt all that often in my short stay up there. Roy Simmons told me he expects his side will dominate in the forwards. He believed that they would beat a full-strength Broncos side. Their confidence soared when they saw that there were 7 changes to the Broncos lineup. A very, very confident and determined Penrith Panther outfit. On a wet night at Parramatta, a crowd which I estimate probably around 6,000 here tonight. A lot of local Penrith support, of course, and a lot of Penrith supporters hoping to see the Broncos beaten for the first time this year. And there they are, the Panther supporters waving the rain away. There's Matt Goodwin and Doug Delaney, the halfback, who's playing there with Greg Alexander at fullback tonight. Delaney has been in fine form, and Matt Goodwin, one of the brightest front row prospects in Sydney. And there's Greg Alexander playing in his unaccustomed role of fullback tonight. David Green, a winger who's had a lot of knee trouble in the off-season, had surgery. And Peter Kelly, of course, former Canterbury player, the strong man in the Penrith front row.
Still waiting for the Brisbane side to appear. That question remaining. Can they remain undefeated? The Panthers, all the nerves, still waiting for this kickoff. Roy Simmons, calm. The most experienced member of that side. And here they come, Wally Lewis. So much more pressure on him tonight. There's no Colin Scott, no Gene Miles, and no little Alan Langer. A lot in their mind, not the least the fact that Mick Stone caused a mild surprise in the room when we were in there before, telling them of the new rules in the Panasonic Cup, just 1 marker and the backs being back 5 metres in the scrum. They were unaware of it. Let's hope their minds are on it tonight. And let's see this reception. The crowd here, 6,000, 7,000 if you heard from Ian Maurice. There it is. They don't want these Broncos to continue undefeated.
Astounding, Graham, that the side wouldn't have been aware of the rules that they were playing by tonight until just a few moments ago when the referee went in the room.
Well, Mick Stone made them very much aware of it. No referee for tonight. Mick Stone, so much experience in State of Origin football.
I think tonight will call for an 80-minute effort from Wally Lewis. Unquestionably a great player, no question about that. But nobody pretends that he plays a full 80 minutes for them in the Winfield Cup. Tonight might be the difference.
Not so much just Wally Lewis, though. Bill Anderson mentioned the forwards. That front row really has got to put in a big effort tonight, especially that man there, Greg Dowling.
So it'll be the Broncos to kick off. rain has, well, it's stopped for the moment, but it's still pretty miserable. You're dry at home. I hope you enjoy the game with us. And Mick Stone blows time on, and the Panasonic Cup is underway. With Penrith bringing it up to the quarter line. Dowling in there to make the first tackle. And away goes Geyer. Mark Geyer, the young man you want to watch tonight. Goodwin. Simmons is a dummy half. Back for Alexander. See, that's a big kick from Alexander.
Some sort of kick.
Right over the head of David Burke, who takes it in the in-goal area. Got out to about 12 metres before he's down. Goodwin around his ankles, along with Cartwright. And that's an awful play, the ball. The knock-on rule by referee Mick Stone.
Yes, the Panasonic Cup replay shows the absolute disregard of possession when a player does that.
Delaney has it. And Izzard. Mortimer inside the Broncos quarter line. Alexander from dummy half. He gets up to the 10-metre line. And here comes Kelly. Kelly got under a high tackle. Swinging arm there from Dowling. Cross to Izzard, the long pass which had been put down. So the knock-on rule by Mick Stone. So a Penrith scoring opportunity wasted. Touch judges in. This will be the report. Dowling's swinging arm on Kelly. Here it is.
Yes, Kelly comes on the burst on the Panasonic Cup, and there's the little right arm that missed.
I must admit, it's my first look at Chris Mortimer this year in '88 for this Penrith side. I just can't get used to him in this brown and white jumper. So used to him in the Canterbury colours.
Your eyes are moist. So the Broncos have it. This is the halfback, Craig Groff. 11 metres out from his own line. Madison made a metre or two before he was stopped suddenly by Geyer. Penalty's gone to the Broncos. Penrith just a little eager. So Lewis will kick for touch and find it 15 metres from the halfway mark. Dowling taking the tap. Not Dowling, I beg your pardon. Walters, Kerrod Walters. Just on the halfway mark. And, well, another knock on.
Well, Kerrod Walters, one of the brothers, Walters brothers, apparently lost that ball in the tackle, according to the referee. There it is, came free.
A little kick ahead from Izzard. Chase for the ball. Plenty of Bronco jumpers there in front. And rebounding off the post. And that held him. Well, that was an awkward one for Michael Hancock.
Yes, it came on the Panasonic Cup. We saw it ricochet off the post there, and Hancock had hell's own job of trying to get control of the ball. It actually ricocheted out of his hands. Now it's going to be up to Wally Lewis to do a line drop out to get them out of trouble again.
Alexander, who in his unaccustomed role of fullback, I guess would have had a roving commission tonight, Bill Anderson.
Yes, he's not playing a traditional fullback role. He's in around the rucks. He's playing as an extra halfback, and I think he'll be very hard for the Broncos to contain.
This is Cartwright playing it. Here comes Kelly, but Simmons through the dummy. 22 metres out. Away goes Izzard. Out for Bradley. To the quarter line. Oh, gee, that's a good solid tackle on Vandervoort. Mark Hone in there to make the tackle. Here's Alexander getting around one. A kick in the air, plenty of chasers. Up goes Burke, he's lost it as a try. A Penrith try from a mistake from David Burke. The Penrith flags fly.
Yes, the Panasonic Cup, we've not yet clarified who scored the try, but the Alexander bomb goes up and the chase is on. It's like the charge of the Light Brigade. They come steaming through. Burke stands his ground and then leaps high in the air, doesn't take it, makes a real meal of it. I think it might have been Cartwright.
No, I think you'll find it may have been the winger McNeil.
Okay.
We'll check.
There's Alexander again. That high bomb, beautifully weighted. The charge is on. Burke takes it, drops it, and swooped on and put down almost in one motion by
Cartwright.
Cartwright, the man that scored the try.
John Cartwright, another of the famous Cartwright family from the Penrith area. Father Merv was a Penrith secretary for quite some time in the early days. Cliff and David have played first grade for Penrith, and now it's John. And this is the man who went up and forced the error. This is Rod McNeil. Moving into it. And makes no mistake, it's a beauty. And the Panthers go to a 6-0 lead over the Brisbane Broncos.
It's a great start for Penrith. 6-0 over Brisbane. Back on their heels, the Broncos. Really not being able to afford another score in this first quarter. So many changes. 7 changes to their lineup from the weekend's clash against Parramatta. Alexander. Ton of enthusiasm in this Penrith side. Delaney just on his own quarter line. Matt Goodwin. And the rain really starting to come down again here at the stadium. Back for the kick from Alexander. David Burke, the fullback, who spilt that bomb which led to that first try. Makes it back out to 30 metres. Away goes Teven. The man replacing Gene Miles. Big shoes to fill tonight. Andrew Tessman. Player that gets through a lot of work. Very impressive in the reserve grade performance up there last Sunday against Parramatta. Wally Lewis with the kick. And importantly, kicking away from Alexander. David Green had knocked that ball back and makes good yardage back out 30 metres from his own line. Forcing Lewis to follow that kick up and bring off the tackle. Geyer. Wrestling match between he and Lewis. Peter Kelly. Again Lewis involved in the tackle. So the game of chess continuing through this kicking game of both sides. Burke again finding himself in possession, but he fails to beat Bradley. With this Brisbane side continually being turned around. Kilroy. Brad Tessman. Man that's only played 60 minutes of football in 1988 after suffering that knee injury last year. Madison. Loans for Andrew Tessman, knocks it behind. Penrith very quick to recover possession, but Mick Stone has ruled that Matt Goodwin lost it.
Yes, the impact of the tackle there made number 11 Andrew Tessman drop the ball, but in picking it up, Goodwin knocked on slightly.
Now it's Izzard. Quick play of the balls from the Penrith side. Geyer on the charge. 30 metres out now, the Panthers, looking for their second try. Simmons, switch of play for Cartwright. Away goes Bradley. Again, they use this short blind side. It's Kelly bumping off man after man. Mark Hone brings him down about 15 metres out on the last tackle for Penrith. Alexander fumbles that ball, sights the gap up the middle, chips into the in goal. There's chases here. Alexander will get it and score. Wally's lost it. He only had to pick up the ball. It was a try. Well, 6 more tackles now, a metre out. That'll be a penalty to Penrith.
Well, the misfortune Alexander had here was the ball hit the upright and he had to try to attempt to slow down. He was sprinting fast after it, and that sort of put him off. He knocked on at that point, but they regathered very smartly, and the try's been scored.
Well, he only had to pick that ball up and it was a try. Would have been a sensational first quarter.
Yeah, but if he had picked it up, he'd have been running straight at the goalpost. I don't really see how he could have picked it up going at his pace and scored the try exactly there.
Plenty of rain here at the stadium, making handling very difficult. 1 for Rod McNeil. Much simpler conversion attempt, or penalty attempt, I should say here. No mistake. So Penrith going further ahead now through that goal by Rod McNeil. The Panthers 8, Brisbane 0.
Well, good start from the Panthers. 8 points to nothing, and this is exactly what they wanted to do, get their nose in front early. And in these conditions, that could be very, very important, because the rain is just absolutely pelting again as the Broncos need to regroup. Madison restarts play. Alexander takes it. Now McNeil. Good tackle from Tessman. And dummy half goes Vandervoort. Just over the quarter line. And they've lost it again, the Panthers. Referee Stone is going to rule that Brisbane will play it. Now, can the Broncos come back? This big Tessman puts his hip into the defence. Penalty has gone to the Broncos. Again, Penrith up inside the 5 metres and they play the ball. Scoring opportunity for Terry Madison. Penalty awarded just inside the quarter line and about 12 metres from touch. So Madison obviously will try to put the 2 points on the board.
Yes, Johnny Croucher, you've got some information on Footy Tap.
Yes, I have, Rex. We've got a season record $40,000 in the dividend pool tonight, and it looks as like they've made Penrith very slight favourites to take this one out. The popular score they've selected, Penrith 18 and Brisbane 10.
Thanks, John.
Now here's Madison. The crowd streaming across the hill looking for shelter as Madison moves in for this kick. And oh, he's wide. He's pushed it to the left. And Penrith have knocked on in the in-goal area. The Broncos dive on it, but just a little too late. But very nearly a bad mistake from Bradley. So a line dropout. McNeil will take it. Not the best drop kick in the world. Here's Lewis to pick it up. A spinning ball, and oh gee, the Broncos have put it down straight away. Can Penrith get it back? Lewis has fallen on. He can't handle it. Delaney's fallen on it for the Panthers. He'll play it 32 metres out. So a number of mistakes in these slippery conditions. As Goodwin now lost the ball. It's been picked up by the Broncos. Lewis has it. He's got support from Dowling. Dowling immediately cornered over by the Panthers defence. So plenty of change of possession here. Hone, 32 metres out. Tessman gets up towards the quarter line. Roth to Lewis, and then away to Teven, right on the Penrith quarter line. Here's Dowling, out to Hone, and he's lost it. Gee whiz, there's been some changeovers there, hasn't there? So the Panthers via Vandervoort. Just short of the quarter line. Delaney is dummy half. He can't make any progress. Back for Alexander. Let's get out of here. Down for Burke. Burke 10 metres short of the halfway and just about on the halfway mark before he's put down. And the penalty has gone to the Broncos. He saw something in there from Cartwright, did he?
Well, Cartwright just made a meal of it. He didn't get off, and that's the reason for it. He stayed kneeling down there with a guy flapping his arms around trying to get to the feet. One of the less edifying spectacles in rugby league, the penalty for holding the player down.
So a ton of errors so far in these wet conditions. Now they are 6 as opposed to 4. Dowling goes without it. Walters back for Kilroy. Nowhere to go. Just inside the Panthers quarter line. Hone. Just heading play towards the post. Midfield. Sloppy play the ball. Lewis. Chris Johns takes on the defence. Tries to get a pass away. Play on, says Mick Stone. Burke. Pass was knocked down, I thought, by the Penrith side. That's what Mick Stone will pick it up.
Yes, the Panasonic Cup replay shows ball astray there. It was knocked down by Bradley, and he was the one that fell on the ball, so the scrum had to go down.
So another opportunity for Brisbane now. Lewis cuts out the fullback Burke and on to Johns. 12 metres out. Burke. Well, a simple mistake. Possession for Penrith. Chris Mortimer swoops on it. Back out to his own quarter line. David Green. Let's see if Penrith waste any possession here. They should be pretty quick to go back for their kicking game. Royce Simmons. Making sure of possession. He had both arms around that ball. This time they go back for Alexander. It's straight for Burke though. Not making him work too hard for that one. He gets around Peter Kelly, trying to link up with his winger. He does so. It's Hancock who's picked it up, but Mick Stone's going to rule that that ball had gone forward.
Well, you'll get a bird's eye view of this. There's the pass, and it did appear to go a foot or so forward of number 5 there.
Alexander fed that scrum. Delaney. 40 metres out from the Broncos line. Vandervoort. Bradley out of the dummy half position. Back for no one. Simmons has to dive on it. And these conditions at the moment, Bill, simple football required.
Graham, you run from dummy half, maybe one off the ruck, never anything more than 2 off the ruck. You just hit it up, kick the ball, and your place to attack from is when you are in the opposition's quarter. You do not try to score a try from outside of that quarter. You wait till you get there before you do anything.
Well, here they go again from dummy half. That's the football. Simmons was looking for support on the last tackle. Alexander can't handle it. Lewis had come out of that marker position to put some pressure on him.
Yes, on the Panasonic Cup replay, Alexander there caught short with his attempt to catch the football. Lewis was up very quickly.
3 minutes away from the end of the first quarter. 8-0 in favour of the Panthers. Similarly now for Brisbane. Just some solid play before they go back to Wally Lewis for the kick. No one really expecting that ball. Poor play just outside their own quarter line from Brisbane. So there'll be another opportunity for Penrith just before the break. Izzard, the chip down the blind side. Kilroy had read that. Read it well, in fact. The play will be holding 10 metres out from their Brisbane line. Teven, solidly met by Geyer. He's lost the ball and need to shift it quickly. Well, Bradley had 3 men over on the right-hand side if he had it passed. Simmons, Alexander, trying to put his men through the gap. Mortimer just a metre short. Alexander from dummy half. Well, he's towed that ahead. What will Mick Stone do? It's a try. Quick thinking from Greg Alexander. He was brought down right on the try line. and just simply towed ahead and picked up the 4 points.
Yes, well, it's an incredible try. The Panasonic Cup replay just kicked it straight ahead. I saw him score a try like that in the Kangaroo Tour against Widnes, and it brought me undone. It was done so beautifully and quickly. They all stood there and watched him. He's played the ball forward, kicked it into the in-goal area, and just followed on. There he is, asking for a little bit of room to play it, kicks it ahead, 2 hands to it, and that's as simple as that. Really an astonishing bit of quick thinking by Alexander. You see tries like this scored periodically, sometimes forwards. St George's forward Wynn scores the occasional one like this, but they really are excellent tries when they're done so quickly and so spontaneously.
Well, he's the try scorer, Greg Alexander. He's got number 1 on his back in the fullback position tonight, but he's rarely been out of that front line. Rowan Teven has come to the sideline with the trainers. The kick to come from Rod McNeil, 100% record. Similar angle from his first attempt tonight. He's hit that well. Waved away. So the end of a very good first quarter for Penrith. After 20
those April showers may come your way, Rex. The crowd loves it.
Well, not the crowd that's sitting in it. Well, it hasn't stopped since we arrived here. Since the game started, the rain started, and both teams are having to put up with these massive number of mistakes.
12-0, the Panthers lead. And let's see what they can do in this second quarter. They'll need certainly more commitment from the Broncos. And this is Van der Voort just on the quarter line. Cartwright. Tessman in there to make the tackle. Back for Alexander. And this time it's between Kilroy and Burke, and it's Burke who'll get to it right on his own quarter line. Can't beat the tackle of Delaney and Mortimer though. Kilroy dummy half. Now back for Lewis, and the kick. Alexander takes it well. Playing at fullback, but as we mentioned earlier, a roving commission. He's already fed at least one scrum. This is McNeil. 8 metres short of the halfway mark. Delaney. Now Matt Goodwin. And Peter Kelly gets up towards the halfway mark. Bill Anderson, you've mentioned to us before that you like to see a strong player marking Wally Lewis, a player of similar physique.
Yes, and Brad Izzard fits the bill perfectly there, doesn't he? He's a big, strong 5'8", the sort of player that can play just as physically as Wally Lewis. I thought Brad was a bit quiet in that first quarter, and I'll be looking for him to explode because the conditions suit him. They're perfect for a player of his bustling technique.
Well, the kick out on the full, and the scrum has gone with the feed, and here's Lewis putting it through into the vacant spaces. McNeil's back for it, but the ball will beat him into touch. Well, there's no one at home.
Well, it's a superb kick on the Panasonic Cup replay from Wally Lewis. It's a gain of, 45 yards, and it's got a beautiful off break at the end of it. Turns away to the left and really beats everyone over the goal line. And there's the corner flag. It's only about 2 metres away.
Now it's gone with the scrum feed. Delaney has it at the scrum base. A little scurry down the blind side, made another 3 or 4 metres for Van der Voort. Here's Kelly. They're short of the quarter line. The Brisbane defence is not too bad on this particular occasion. Cartwright playing it on the quarter line. Back now for Izzard. Izzard's kick. Well, Burke can't handle it. Kilroy can't handle it. And Kilroy's put it into touch. Oh! Couple of bad mistakes from the Broncos.
Yes, they really misjudged that. The Panasonic Cup replay shows Burke diving for it desperately, and then Kilroy trying to, shuffle it back in field, I suppose, was his intention, but touched it instead, and it's a Penrith feed.
And right on the Brisbane quarter line too, so that's a couple of bad mistakes. With the scrum feed again, Izzard's made the mistake. And Brisbane come up with it, but they can't handle it either. A couple of knock-ons, and referee Mick Stone will put the scrum down for those. There are the scrums and penalties as they stand at the moment. 6-4. Penrith have the edge in the scrums. Penalties favour Brisbane 3-1. This is Groff at the scrum base, and he's lost it. Goodness me, the Panthers come up with it. Goodwin got it away to Izzard. Izzard's turned it back inside from Mortimer. One-handed pass to Goodwin has been put down, and the Broncos come up with it. So again, the handling error is creeping in with this slippery football, and now the Broncos come up with the penalty. Again, Penrith up inside the 5 metres in the play of the ball. So Lewis will find touch right on the halfway mark. And Lewis will take the tap himself. Again, kicking straight away over Alexander's head. In the in-goal area now. Will it go over the dead ball line? No, it won't. Alexander's got it. Is he going to try and get it out? The step, and he's hemmed in. So good chasing from the Broncos.
Panasonic Cup replay shows Alexander tiptoeing lightly along the dead ball line, but he's caught there nicely and put down. And back he'll come for a line dropout.
Excellent tactics from Brisbane. No doubt that's been worked out at the end of that first quarter by Lewis and Bennett. But he's got to force the mistakes from Penrith in their own quarter line. Burke now to 30 metres out. Lewis in a dummy half trying to get this side started there. Could easily be a lack of communication out there with 7 changes to this side from the one that played last Sunday. Dowling right on the quarter where he met his match in Peter Kelly. Madison. They're desperate for a try, Brisbane. Groff. Lewis. Johns. Back in field for Groff. Madison again. He keeps that alive out the back for Dowling. Dowling again to his feet. A put down by Cartwright on the last tackle. Lewis. The bomb, it's right underneath the post. Up goes Alexander. It goes loose. Groff had the ball. Can he force it? Well, he's going to play the original knock-on, I think, by Alexander.
We see it on the replay, and he falls right on top of the players that are underneath him. He had no way he could ground the football. Absolutely impossible. The ricochet came off Alexander. It went in the air. Graff caught it, and that was the end of the section. He had 3 bodies underneath him.
Well, the touch judge is in. Mark Guy, the man being called over. Chris Johns down in back play. So a stretch has been called here.
Yes, Wally Lewis had a talk to the referee there, and they've immediately stopped play.
Here he is with the ball. Well, hit just as he unloaded. Guy was the man that knocked him to the ground.
There didn't seem to be anything extraordinary about that, the impact. Let's have another look. There he is, Johns running with the ball, offloads, and, well, I think the tackle had started. I really do. I don't believe there's a penalty problem in that.
Well, there's the scoreline. Penrith 12 over Brisbane 0. As we welcome you back, Penrith 12, Brisbane 0. If they aren't already in enough trouble, Chris Johns now being carried from the field. Bill, the replacement.
Brett Plowman wearing number 14. He's a good young player.
There he is, Plowman. So you saw that tackle on the replay, and play will restart. Mick Stone just waiting for the stretcher to be off the field. So McNeil with the line dropout. Only of distance too. Nearly down to the Broncos quarter line where Kilroy picks that ball up. Well, straight away a penalty. Taking the ball away when Mick Stone had already called on him to play the ball.
Panasonic Cup replay. Joe Kilroy goes into the tackle and has the ball reefed from his arms by Izzard. penalty.
So all that good yardage from the drop kick will now mean that Brisbane with 6 tackles just outside the Penrith quarter line. Andrew Tessman makes it right to the 22. Dowling getting a lot more involved in this second quarter. Owen back for Walters. Out now for Groff. Lewis looking for a runner. Turned to get past that back in field, but he lost possession. So Penrith will come up with it. Now they lose it. Oh, this is the area where you can be made to feel those mistakes. Walters. Andrew Tessman. Still seem to be trying to work each other out in attack, this Brisbane lineup. Hone. 10 metres out now from the Penrith line. Brad Tessman. Lewis has gone first off the ruck. Looking for a runner. Good defence from Penrith. Well, up it goes. Is it too deep? It is. Far too deep from Terry Madison. So that won't mean any more pressure now for Penrith. It'll come back to the quarter line. That scoreline, Penrith 12, Brisbane 0. Bill, do you think that Brisbane are having a problem with the communications with so many changes in this lineup?
They're looking pretty rusty, aren't they, in all aspects of their play, particularly around the rucks and even with their kicking game. You know, Penrith have kicked the ball twice, one being a play forward for a try. And I think Brisbane have got to take a leaf out of their book. You don't resort to kicking just on the 6th tackle in this weather. You kick on the 1st tackle.
What about a kick along the ground as well?
Well, that's the sort of kick they should be looking for, the grubber kick in the opposition's quarter. You're going to get points in this sort of weather. You get them when you're down the opposition's end of the field and by taking a bit of a punt.
All right, well, now it's back for Lewis to get them out of trouble. Brisbane. That'll come back for Rod McNeil. And McNeil will bring it back to just short of halfway. And the report on Chris Johns is that he has a neck injury, but he is up on his feet. So that's better news than we thought at first.
Now the Panthers on the halfway mark. As Van der Voort playing it. Look at those handling errors. 15 by Brisbane, 9 by Penrith. And this slippery ball is certainly making it very difficult for both sides to get anything going.
Oh, well, the Panasonic Cup replay shows a dreadful play the ball here. Badly played. And the player coming through on the ruck. And the referee rules them offside in the 5 yards.
McNeil. Gee, that's a big kick. He's put it up into the grandstand on the far side. And he's found touch just inside the quarter line. Now here come the Panthers again as Kelly charges into the defence. 10 metres out now, the Panthers. Alexander is the key. What will he do here? Here's Cartwright. Just 2 tackles straight up. Now Delaney wants it. Delaney's got it. Now Izzard, and Izzard can't handle it. But Penrith get the penalty. The Broncos up inside the 5 metres this time, and the penalty from right in front. So they'll elect to kick for goal. And McNeil will have the easiest of his kick so far. Well, certainly the Broncos have their problems, don't they? As Graham and Bill pointed out, a new combination. And now this Penrith side, they're a lead of 12 points to 0. Surely it'll be 14-0 in just a moment.
I noticed Wally Lewis gave one of his most determined stares at referee Stone on the occasion that penalty was awarded. It was a hands on the hip stare for about 2 or 3 seconds, incredulous.
Well, here's McNeil taking full advantage of the offside penalty, and the Panthers edge further in front. 14 points to nothing. Penrith over Brisbane. Madison brings it back for a quick restart. In fact, he's cribbed about a foot. Didn't put it right on the line. Nevertheless, the quick kick is down for Alexander. And he's lost the ball on the first tackle again. It is like a bit of soap out there, isn't it, that football? Andrew Tessman playing it. Now Dowling. Now, what can the Broncos put something together here? Away goes Madison. Good gain. He's about 9 metres from the line. Walters is dummy half. It's to Groff. It's to Lewis. And Lewis has made the mistake. And you can saw on the edge of your screen Plowman there in frustration throwing a punch at Geyer. And Wally Lewis muttered something under his breath. It shall not be repeated. So Delaney works the scrum for the Panthers. Again, it's gone with the feed. And Delaney will play it just on the quarter line. Back for Izzard. Caught by Walters. And again, Penrith making a mistake with Matt Goodwin putting it down. Brisbane play it forward, now play it back. Play on, said the referee, as big Andrew Tessman makes some ground to get towards the corner line. Dowling blindside, caught by Cartwright. Touch judges in, penalty's gone to Brisbane. Referee Stone will listen to the touch judge's report.
Panasonic Cup replay shows that Dowling came in and apparently had the ball stolen from him, was pulled down again. That's the reason for the penalty. And apparently it's Cartwright who's the offender.
And the touch judge ran in there. The referee had already given the penalty. Maybe he knows the television cameras are on.
True.
So the tap, about 10 metres out. Here comes Andrew Tessman. Caught by Simmons. And also Goodwin. They're only 8 metres out. Hone can't beat the defence. It was Kelly. Now here's Dowling. Dowling still going. Got support. The pass has gone astray. Still on though. And the Broncos reach out and no try. No try rule. Walters was the man in question.
I suspect that that's going to be called the double movement because he definitely landed short. You'll see it here very classically illustrated. Lands short and then pops his arm up and over. And that is clearly a double movement. We'll see it again from a slightly different angle. You'll see and agree that the referee was totally correct in this ruling. It's a double movement. His hand and arm came in contact with the ground a foot and a half before the line.
No doubt about that. That's about as close as the Broncos have come to scoring a try.
Oh, look at the rain now, will you, for heaven's sake.
Isn't it good to be under shoulder?
Well, this is how quick the Penrith have reacted now. They made a mistake before. It nearly cost them that try. So on the first tackle, they've got to kick and really force the error from Brisbane. They're the ones that have got to come up with all the points. They're the ones that have got to force play. Well, Chris Mortimer has called out quickly here for play to be holded. David Burke is the man that's down. It's already been one bad incident for Chris Johns.
Well, there was nothing illegal in the tackle at all. Nothing illegal at all, but unfortunately it's eventuated that young Burke has come up with an injury. Apparently
to a knee or ankle, I think. There's his.
I think it's his leg. You can see his leg twist underneath. He had the ankle turned around one way.
I'll be very surprised if that ankle isn't broken.
Yes, so will I. It was a dreadful thing, and I winced as it happened as I saw it on the replay. Very, very painful injury.
Well, he is in incredible pain.
Yes, he's in a lot of pain, the lad, and it's a tragedy to see any side go through these injury tribulations that the Broncos are having at the moment. We've lost Johns with some sort of a neck injury, and now this young man, David Burke, the fullback. There it is. Now watch the leg. Watch the leg. Oh, God, that looks dreadful.
Well, David Burke has surprised us all. He must be made of rubber. He's back on his feet. The stretch is off, and he's going to play the ball right on the quarter line. The defences are set, and back it goes for Wally Lewis. Well, Alexander, all the confidence in the world, just tapping that ball up. Drags plenty of defence to him. David Green from dummy half. Up a bit for his corner, taking that ball up too. Penalty for Penrith for being inside the 5. McNeil to look for touch now. What will have settled the Penrith combination and not coming up with so many errors is the Brisbane side. As I mentioned before, they don't have to force the issue, Penrith. Roy Simmons quickly with the restart to Matt Goodwin. 12 metres out now, the Panthers. Setting themselves once again. Vandervoort. Tries have already come from kicks. Kelly. 5 metres out. Alexander the decoy on the blind. Simmons from dummy half. Lewis was there to read it. Alexander. There it is. There's another kick. Izzard's on the spot. They've worked it again. Perfectly done by Alexander from the dummy half position. Great combination with Izzard. So the kick well and truly bringing the Broncos undone at the Parramatta Stadium.
Well, the Panasonic Cup replay will show it clearly and decisively. The beautiful little grubber kick. Izzard into the in-goal area behind the defence, grounds the ball cleanly, no dramas at all, no problems. There it is from the ground level shot. Izzard is yards in front of anyone, and he was onside, but he was yards in front of any of the defenders that were racing for the ball. There's the kick. There he is on the right-hand side. Everybody stops and has a look, except Izzard, who makes good. And that is an excellent try.
Certainly is. They're showing Brisbane how it should be done. Not relying totally on the bomb. Putting that one along the deck, causing plenty of trouble in behind the defence. 3 from 4 for Rod McNeil. Brisbane. What problems they've got now? Wally Lewis asked the question. McNeil adds the extra 2 points. So Penrith going further ahead now. The Panthers 20, Brisbane 0.
Wow. Well, that Panthers coach, Ron Willey, is going to be absolutely insufferable after this. I mean, he's insufferable most of the time, but when he gets a team with a win like this, as apparently they're going to be.
Well, it's incredible first 2 quarters from Penrith. And their kicking game, Bill, spot on.
Yes, it has been. They've been prepared to speculate when they've got in the opposition's quarter. Good tactics by Ron Willey, his captain Roy Simmons, and his kicker Greg Alexander. The Brisbane Broncos, they've been disappointing in that area. They just haven't taken any risks, and that's what you've got to do. But when you're in the opposition's quarter.
Well, now they're in the opposition's quarter, and let's see if they do start taking some risks. Ahead goes Brad Tessman, 10 metres out. Lewis screaming for the ball to go left. He has it now. The switch of play for Madison. Well, he's lost it. The defence read the switch perfectly. They were waiting for Madison. Delaney. Penrith with just a minute now before the end of the second quarter. Time to kill. Back quickly for Alexander. That'll need some chases. Burke unloads for Hancock. Just inside the Penrith half. Away goes Plowman. Groff. Lewis. He looks for Teven. Wrapped up easily by the Penrith defence. Trying to milk the penalty, I think, Wally Lewis. Ball kept alive there. Walters. The kick from Greg Dowling. Alexander's going back for it. Fumbles in the in goal. But now he forces it. And that'll be the end of the second quarter. And a great first 2 quarters for Penrith. 20-0 over the Brisbane Broncos.
Welcome back to the Parramatta Stadium. There is that scoreline. Penrith 20, the Brisbane Broncos nothing. Although it's a depleted Brisbane Broncos side, admittedly, this is a good performance from Penrith. And there have been a change to both sides. Billy Anderson.
Yes, the change for Brisbane as David Burke's left the field, replaced by 16 Shane Duffy. And for Penrith, David Green with a shoulder injury has left the side, and he's replaced by Ken Gittins wearing 14.
On your bill, this is Andrew Tessman with the ball. Now it's back for Lewis, who really hasn't been terribly involved in the first 40 minutes. There are the first half tackle counts. Goodwin 15 and Cartwright 11 showing the way for Penrith. And the two Tessmans with 17 and 15 apiece. Matt Goodwin just outside his own quarter. Graham Bradley. And they are using dry footballs for this second half, which is a refreshing sign, because there have been a lot of handling errors in that first half. And Doug Delaney's kick downfield. He's got a fine touch, beats Kilroy in the touch. That's a fine kick from Delaney. Beautiful kick from him.
Yes, little Doug Delaney on the Panasonic Cup replay shows that anything you can do, I can do better. And that's just perfect. Kilroy wasn't game to bend down for it.
Well, the scrum is just inside the Brisbane quarter. I mentioned the handling errors. There have been 30 of them. In fact, in the first 40 minutes, 17 by Brisbane, 13 by Penrith.
Well, that's a remarkable number of handling errors, and again we come back to this issue. That's a pretty hot one, I think, about Bill, about using wet weather footballs.
It's been tried in the past, Graham. I think the league's in favour of it, but they can't convince the clubs that they should change. I don't know why. I think we're in the dark ages using these sort of footballs. Football is a handling game. In the wet weather, you cannot handle this sort of ball. Surely we can come up with a synthetic one. I think it's been done, but they won't adjust.
Well, add one more to the handling errors from Brisbane. That's why Penrith are in possession, 10 metres out. Delaney has it. Got it away to Cartwright. This time the Brisbane defence holds him. They're 11 metres out from the Brisbane line. Penrith hungry for more points, particularly against the Brisbane side. Unbeaten so far. Dyer is caught. Got support from Van der Voort. Van der Voort down the touchline. But he's stopped about 5 metres out. Last tackle now for Penrith. Alexander, again the kick. But this time, Brisbane are able to stop it with Craig Groff falling on it. Plowman's put it down. Penrith again in possession. And again, here's Izzard. Izzard's long ball out the wing three-quarter in Rob McNeil, who's in the corner. So the Panthers are in again, and the score increases.
Wally Lewis was well back upfield, screaming at Michael Stone for the forward pass. Let's take a look.
Well, on the Panasonic Cup replay from ground level, we won't see a whole lot, but there's the pass going to ground, swooped on by Simmons, given out there to Izzard. Izzard looks to his left, sees a man 2 passes away and gets a long, lofty pass out to McNeil. McNeil goes hard and straight and scores the try. Now, from the elevated shot, we may see something a little bit more. There's young Brett Plowman spilling the football. Simmons swoops on it, gives it straight away to Izzard. Izzard looks outside him and sees, there he is, McNeil right out in the wing. I don't think Wally had really any reason for complaining about the pass. It looked okay to me.
Well, there's the try scorer. Rod McNeil has already kicked 4 from 5 tonight and played pretty well too. And this one is about a metre in from touch.
He gives the ball a hell of a thump.
He sure does. A fair lump of a lad himself. So from a metre from touch, this one is not going to turn around though, and he's just to the right of the post. So the score remains Penrith 24, the Brisbane Broncos nothing.
It's a remarkable scoreline. It really is. Undefeated in the Winfield Cup. They're struggling tonight. The Broncos, so many changes to this team and handling errors on the quarter line leading to that try. Back it comes now for McNeil. Alexander to the dummy half position. Van der Voort. Cartwright. The Broncos travel to Newcastle on Sunday to clash with the Knights whilst we make our way the State Bank big game to Penrith Park, where the Panthers take on the Tigers. 40 metres out from their own line. Alexander from the dummy half position will kick. Off the knees of Shane Duffy. Plenty of defence down there from Penrith. He beats the first two tackles of Delaney and Vandervoort, but Matt Goodwin brings him down. Lewis immediately kicks away from Alexander. He's going to have plenty of time to bring this back. Groff is there to bring him down now. Up they come now, the Panthers, and the change Brisbane side, Bill.
Yes, Mark Holmes coming from the field. His place will be taken by Peter Sinclair in 15.
So three of the replacements, there he is there, used up by this Brisbane side. As Geyer charges up the middle. Still standing, they couldn't put him down. Delaney to look for touch. So they really have got their kicking game in order tonight, the Panthers, controlling this game well.
Yes, the Panasonic Cup replay just shows how well they're controlling the game, keeping play down in this Broncos area continually.
Well, here's a win against the feed. Vandervoort into the dummy half position for Izzard. Steps off the left foot. Switch of play by Delaney. Looking for Bradley. There was plenty of defence there from the Broncos. Kelly goes without it. Simmons uses his front row partner Goodwin. He's met just 11 metres out now. Alexander. Cartwright. Good short ball for Geyer. Well, they stopped him while he broke the first tackle. But just as he was about to take on the fullback, he lost the ball. Tessman to come away with it. The big fella really did have that try line wide open. Dowling. No nonsense from Peter Kelly. He's going to have a quiet word to Mick Stone though.
He's an aggressive looking fellow, isn't he? Peter Kelly. Yes, he really put the high tackle in there. It wasn't a dangerous one, but it was a swinging arm. And then he lay on him for a few minutes just to compound the error.
So Brisbane will bring the play back 40 metres out. And Lewis again with the kick. It's the only way they can try and make Penrith come up with any sort of mistakes at all. But there was only just Groff and also Peter Sinclair that really did chase that ball down into the quarter line. Lewis driving back Gittins. Bradley, Lewis again. Some people really do seem to think that this is the weakness in the Brisbane side in the forwards. Simmons trying to show it by going straight up the middle, as does Matt Goodwin. Well, that's a loose ball. Brisbane will come up with possession through Groff. Dowling, who'd believe that well into the third quarter and they're scoreless, this Brisbane side. Sinclair right on the quarter line. Madison. Well, there really is a lack of combination in this side. Lewis. Switch of play for Groff. Well, Dowling was just standing there. He just wasn't expecting the ball. And on the last tackle, nothing left for them now but to kick. Walters out of dummy half. Brad Tessman. Well, he's going to be caught with the ball. That's how much they're struggling tonight, this Brisbane side.
Well, I reckon the coach Wayne Bennett and the whole Brisbane club, in fact, would look with great concern at this performance by the Broncos, because they know very well that come representative time, they're going to lose a whole heap of players, maybe not quite as many as they have out tonight, but if this is what the reserve strength is going to play like when they come on in first grade, then there's great reason for concern.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
They play Newcastle next weekend. I'm not sure whether all of those players will be back for that match, but I'll tell you what, on this performance, Newcastle will be feeling pretty confident. And there's Wayne Bennett. I think that look says everything. Now, Penrith are able to contain the Broncos on the halfway mark again. Andrew Tessman takes it up. Caught by Geyer around the chest. There's nothing high about that. Nothing illegal about it anyway.
It was a perfect tackle. A perfect tackle. Panasonic Cup replay showed it beautifully.
Now Madison will play it 32 metres out. Groff to Lewis. And along the back line through to Plowman. He's lost it. That player has fallen on it. Rowan Tevan. So there is the score. 24-0. Penrith over Brisbane. Penrith in a commanding position. Scrum to be worked by Delaney. I must say that Penrith are very well served by halfbacks, aren't they? They've got the luxury of playing Greg Alexander at fullback tonight. And this Doug Delaney, who's filled in for him over the last couple of weeks while Alexander was on suspension, has certainly done nothing wrong. He's a handy player.
Yes, indeed. He's a very towy little player, very active.
Good kicking game.
Yes, indeed.
Now, the Panthers are 10 metres short of halfway with Cartwright about to play it. Simmons and Dubby half. Away to Geyer. Geyer will play it 8 metres from the halfway mark. Here's Delaney now. There's his kicking game. Well, it's been picked up by Shane Duffy.
I just don't know why he does that. Lets his body get in the way of the ball. On that occasion, the ball was there to be caught.
Yes, it hit him on the arm. I thought if they can hit him on the arm, he might as well catch it. So yet another handling error, and a scrum will go down. 32 metres out from the Broncos line. Delaney to Izzard. Into Mortimer. Here comes Alexander. Flick pass inside for Brad Izzard, but he's gone without it. And Brisbane fall on it via Rowan Tevan. So the handling errors continue. Duffy playing it. Tevan is 15 metres from halfway. Back for Lewis. Alexander, it's over his head, in fact. He's just in the goalmouth area by the time he picks it up. And he'll play it 15 metres out from his own line. And Gittins, driven back by Andrew Tessman. Dummy from Simmons. Takes play outside the quarter line. Alexander's kick is down for Duffy. Duffy caught by Cartwright and Delaney just on the halfway mark. Lewis to Tevan. But the Penrith defence is very good.
Particularly when Chris Mortimer's involved in the tackle.
Yes, Mortimer and Izzard combining there very well. Andrew Tessman on the halfway mark. Lewis. McNeil is here for it. Takes it well on his fingertips. Change getting set in the Penrith side.
Yes, it's a good night to get into the showers before the hot water runs out, and Brad Izzard's going to have that opportunity. He's being replaced by Greg Clements in 16.
Greg Clements from the Central Coast. But the Broncos get the penalty. Lewis will kick for touch. Let's see what they can put on. Wallace takes the tap. Lewis is with him. Lewis is caught 9 metres out. Here comes Dowling. But Geyer and Simmons hold him. Plays it forward. Lost it behind him. But no, didn't lose it behind him. Knocked on, according to the referee.
Greg Dowling looking pensive there over that ruling by the referee. It was said again, the Panasonic Cup replay. Well, It didn't show the knock on, but the referee was standing fairly adjacent.
A change has been made in the Penrith side with Izzard off and Clements on.
And Penrith just to work the play away now from their own line. Alexander about 8 metres out. They've done it easily tonight. Kelly down the blind side. The applause for Izzard leaving the field. Goodwin stands looking for some support. Finally brought to ground by Wally Lewis. I mentioned they've done it well, the Panthers. Izzard's off the field. He's now down sideline with Bill Anderson.
Brad, congratulations. That's been a great performance.
Yeah, we knew they just got out of jail when they played them at Brisbane. And we knew today that we could beat them down here, especially with the big crowd. We knew they could turn up, especially supporting us. And we went out with a lot of confidence and done the job.
When it was raining, did it make much difference to the way you approached the game?
Yeah, well, as soon as it started raining, we knew we couldn't play it in our end. That's the reason we were kicking it quite a lot and getting it right down there, and they were making the mistakes and we were coming with the tries.
Thanks for talking to us, Brad. I'll let you jump into that hot water.
Thanks a lot.
The Penrith story tonight from Brad Izzard. Alexander feeding the scrum again. Clements, first touch, the replacement for Izzard. Well, a very sloppy play of the ball. He was trying to get to his feet quickly there. Quite rightly, McStone getting him for just dropping it to the ground as a knock-on.
Yes, no doubt about that. He tried to get away with it, the Panasonic Cup replay, but the referee was onto him.
Well, again against the feed, though, for Penrith. Everything going their way. Clements. This time, I'm sure he'll come up with the goods. Make sure of it, he does too. Vandervoort. Brought down well by Andrew Tesson. He's done a lot of work for the Broncos. Simmons running a lot more now in this third quarter from the dummy half position. Penrith 24, the Broncos 0. Cartwright. He's lost it. Penrith are online now for a quarter-final berth against St George. Alexander slips. A lot of time to bring that ball back. Chris Mortimer. Doing it well in the conditions. A lot of running from dummy half Penrith. Backing up the kicking game that Izzard described for you. Nothing silly. Already back to the halfway line. Kelly. Again an easy 6 or 7 metres. Vandervoort. Well, that pass was headed forward. And the Broncos will come up with position anyway. Duffy. But as I mentioned, the crowd, almost 9,000 here tonight to see the Panthers put on a good display. So many people obviously wanting to see the Broncos go down. Love-hate, or plenty of hate I should say, between the two states. Lewis wrapped up. Naturally that brings the roar from the crowd. Walters. 3 Penrith players back there for the kick. Alexander picks it up. Well, he's lost it. Ball still going back. He's allowed the advantage, McStone. Duffy to bring the ball back. My ball, he says. Just a minute away from the end of the third quarter. What can the Broncos come up with? Well, that should have been a penalty, and it is. Dyer was the man holding back Hancock, who was struggling to his feet. Lewis quickly with the kick. Certainly probably won't see out the 6 tackles. Walters straight across field. Lewis will be forced to kick. Here it comes now. The kick across field. It's gone astray. It's towed ahead. Ruff got a foot to it. But forced in goal, says McStone. There's a touch judge in, so this may not be the end of play.
Yes, the Panasonic Cup replay shows helter-skelter there, but the referee has the touch judge to advise him about something or other that happened in that melee that took place. And while they're deliberating on that, we'll see it again. The kick's gone fairly high in the air. It's been knocked on by a Penrith player. It's kicked through. Well, there's the reason for it. That player was held back. Testman, I believe, Andrew Testman was held back, so the penalty will probably go to the Penrith side. Graham, let me just say that, in my view, without this Craig Graff in the side today, the score could have been anything. He's put up an absolutely beautiful performance of defence and constant movement. He's never stopped running.
Well, 5 minutes in the bin for Alexander, and the penalty for Brisbane. What will Lewis come up with? The kick into the end goal. Try to Dowling, is it? Brilliantly executed. They had a good yarn to each other before the penalty kick was taken.
Well, here's Wally Lewis, Panasonic Cup replay. Now he touches the ball on the ground with his foot. Little grubber kick through, and Dowling's there, straight onto it, two hands. There's no question about the legality of the try. Dowling was onside. He was behind the kicker, and that's a fair downward pressure being exerted.
They're on the board, the Broncos. Quick thinking from Lewis. Right in front. Madison makes no mistake. Still a strong scoreline for the Penrith Panthers, though. Penrith 24, Brisbane 6.
Here we are, the last quarter. 24 points to 6. Penrith lead Brisbane. And the Brisbane Broncos staring defeat in the face for the first time this season. And Penrith have made another change for the last quarter, Bill.
Peter Kelly's been given an early mark, replaced by Jeff Gerard, the veteran, in number 15.
Jeff Gerard. No crikeys. There he is. A youthful-looking Jeffrey. And there's another mistake, another handling error from Brisbane, very early in the tackle count. So the Panthers have the chance to put something on straight away. As Matt Goodwin will play it just inside the Brisbane quarter. Jethro will play it 12 metres out. Van der Voort. By the time he's pulled out, he's only about 4 or 5 from the line. Here's Delaney. A couple of dummies. Finally giving it away to Mark Geyer. Delaney again. Quick hands, and finally over the touchline. As Greg Clements thought he'd show everybody he had quick hands. And he did indeed. 13-6 the scrums favour Penrith, and 10-5 the penalties favour Brisbane. And Greg Konietzki is just one of many players sorely missed in this Brisbane Broncos outfit. Here's Delaney. Now Clements. Clements is only about 3 metres from the line. That was a very good scrum win against the feed, but the handling error is creeping into it once more.
Well, there must be problems in that scrum, because Kerrod Walters was trying to get Lewis to say something to the referee there, and Simmons is just giving him a hiding.
Well, this time it's gone with the feed. And let's see if the Broncos can hang on to the football. Lewis is going to get it out of here. McNeil is back for it. I see Cole Bentley is on for the Penrith side as well. It's him at dummy half now. From halfway, Bentley playing it. Gittins. And back for Duffy, and Duffy can't hang on to it in the in-goal area. Beats one to the quarter line, Duffy. The guy around his ankles. And Matt Goodwin over the top, stop him. Now Lewis will kick. Sends McNeil back for it again.
It's not the first time tonight that Duffy's broken the first tackle. He's apparently a very strong, well-balanced runner.
John Cartwright is the player who's been replaced in the Penrith side by Bentley. So the Panthers have used up all their replacements. They face Balmain next Sunday on our State Bank big game. They'll certainly come up against more opposition Sunday, I'm sure, than they have faced tonight. Now, if you're wondering where Greg Alexander is, of course he's still in the sin bin. He has about a minute or two to go. Kilroy. Walters will play it. Now Lewis sends it back for Bentley. And Bentley got to the quarter line. Well, Lewis is doing plenty of kicking, Bill, but I wonder how much advantage he's gaining.
Yes, he's not finding the sideline, and he's not getting the ball deep either. They're really kicks without a purpose. You've either got to pick off the sideline and force a scrum, and I don't think that's a good idea because they're losing the ball in scrums anyhow, or you've got to kick long, and they're not doing that. The Penrith wingers and fullbacks are running the ball back plenty of distance.
Thankfully on this occasion, though, for the Broncos, it'll be a mistake from the knock-on. Alexander back onto the field and quickly into his fullback position. Will play this 30 metres out. Madison. Brad Tessman looks for Greg Dowling. Ball looked to touch forward. Kept alive by Teven and Groff, but then put down by Kilroy. Nothing goes right. The last replacement for the Broncos has moved to the sideline. Bill, do you know who that change is?
Mark Meskel, wearing 17, will be taking the place of Brad Tessman.
Waiting for a break in play. Penrith will come up with possession through Gittins. Bentley just outside his own quarter line. Simmons. Really have cut down on the number of mistakes in their own territory, Penrith. Simmons again from dummy half. This time the ball's gone astray off the foot, says Mick Stone. Teven coming away with the ball. Have a look at the handling errors.
Jeez. Make you sick.
Certainly does, and importantly, breaking that down even further, on the first or second tackle, Penrith have lost it a dozen times, and Brisbane on 15 occasions. So, it really does bring back that argument about the wet weather footballs that were used some seasons back, why they aren't used in this competition. Crazy. Walters. Pass was going back inside to nobody. There was no support coming. Knock-ons both ways, says Mick Stone. Meskel now makes his way onto the field for Brad Tessman. Brisbane with a chance to add their second try. Groff having a busy game for them. Trying to crash over his Duffy from dummy half. A metre out. Dowling. Wrapped up quickly. Lewis is the man standing one off. Now he has it. Well, that ball was meant for a cutout pass out wide for Meskel. It was ricocheted off a player that just didn't read it from Lewis. He certainly is searching out wide, isn't he, for the likes of Gene Miles and Colin Scott, missing tonight. Combination just not there for Brisbane. Gerard up now for Penrith just to work it away again. Goodwin, good tackle from Plowman. The A bit of feeling in this fourth quarter. It's a great hit from Plowman, really.
Yes, there it was, the driving tackle, that the little aftermath of it with the right arm swinging in was the part that Goodwin didn't appreciate. Plowman just getting a little bit carried away, and the indication there from the referee is that he saw the winging arm. You've got to keep that down, says the referee.
A bit of experience gained by Plowman, I believe 18 years of age only.
He'll be a big boy when he grows up.
He certainly is. Goodwin in a bit of trouble after that tackle. Carrying an arm which already was heavily bandaged. Back out just short of halfway. Penrith now. Simmons to restart. Gerard. Brought down by Mescal. Chris Mortimer. In the thick of the action. Vanderboord. Simmons. Gerard shows the ball and goes ahead. Delaney. Short ball for Geyer. That pass intercepted by Lewis. He says thanks very much. Dowling. Walters taking a leap out of the Simmons book, but he can't control the possession. Slowly to his feet. Chris Mortimer. He doesn't mind running one off the ruck. He's had a stint in the second row with Canterbury when he was playing there. Metres out from the Broncos line. Penrith, no frill stuff, just building, trying to work away just outside the quarter line before they look to the kicking game again. The dummy from Simmons, straight up the middle. Lewis is there to contain that break. On the last tackle now, they'll look for Alexander. Towards the in goal. Well, confusion from Hancock. The ball luckily went backwards for them.
Yes, indeed. So the Broncos with Andrew Testman, who's worked very hard for his side tonight. More than I can say for a couple of the other players. Plowman towards the quarter line. With the Panthers in control. 24-6. Here's Dowling. They've never looked like making a break because not only has the defence been good, they just haven't been able to control the football for long enough. Here's Lewis. Wrestled to the ground by Geyer. No, if not, it's Bradley. Well, gee, they can look alike, Bradley and Geyer. And the penalty's been given to the Broncos.
Well, Wally apparently milked that to the full there. He's underneath the player. The player goes off him. And you can see he's still wrestling away. There's no way that he was being held. Anyway, good luck to him if he got the penalty.
Now here's Walters. So they made a mistake again on the first tackle.
I'll get it.
It's mine. They come up with the penalty after all that. Become a comedy of errors, isn't it?
Well, that was an exceptionally lucky penalty. It really was. There wasn't a Penrith player in sight when Walters lost that ball. Whether or not Mick Stone was looking at away from play somewhat.
Well, they've been able to find touch. And here comes Mescal. Spent a season or two with West in Sydney. Now Andrew Testman. He's trying to claw up to the quarter line. Madison. Crowd starting to call for the Panthers for an effort to keep the Broncos out. Dowling swiveling. He's up to the 10-metre line now, Dowling. Here's Lewis. The Crowd love it when Lewis gets tackled with the football. The bomb from Madison. Up they go. Loose. Well, it's been dived on, but the referee... Well, he's going to rule a try. Well, Michael Hancock has fallen on the football. All the Penrith players are waiting for a knock-on of some kind to be ruled. But calmly as you like, Mick Stone ruled a try.
Well, Panasonic Cup replay tells all. It came off Alexander, went to the right, a ricochet. Hancock came up with a ball that really didn't deserve a try, but a try has resulted from it. The Madison, the kick, he races forward, puts everyone onside. They're all on at the moment. Hancock came from an onside position, so it's a fair try. There it is, Madison getting the ball high in the air and then races through so that he is, and the front comes through, and the players are all onside, so I can't see any other reason than that the referee gave the try. But a messy try.
Indeed it was. But it counts. Shane Duffy is going to take the conversion attempt. He's about 20 metres in from touch, and he's missed it. So again, nothing going right for the Broncos. 24-10 is the score. Penrith over Brisbane.
Gittins. Straight up the middle. Clements. Bill, we mentioned it before. It really is important that they've got these early points up. Brisbane, when you consider the players that they might lose to the rep games?
Yes, this spare parts team tonight has shown that it has got some deficiencies, particularly in the forwards, and the Sydney coaches will be quick to prey on that.
And Mark Dyer getting himself into the kicking game now. Duffy's back for it. Dyer managing them to put him to the ground. Going out to the quarter line. Mescal comes to a full stop with Chris Mortimer and Matt Goodwin. Something we've seen quite often tonight. Alexander bringing this Lewis kick back. Ducks under a tackle, gets back to his feet again. Vandervoort still going.